everybody, it's Vance Fair at www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com, where we discuss clinical trials in plain English. And this blog is aimed at study participants, people who want to learn more about clinical trials, people who are already participating in clinical trials, people thinking about participating in clinical trials, study professionals looking for ways to improve um, recruitment at their site, or any other things associated with clinical trials. That's what we're here to talk to you about, and what we're trying to kind of explain to you in simple language that we can all understand. I just saw a video, and I'll post it on the blog as well. It's by a large drug company, and you'll see who they are if you watch their video. And I'm not just singling them out, but I just happen to have seen their video. So most of the drug companies are guilty of this same thing that I'm going to talk about, and it's basically thinking that just because you're putting a TV ad on YouTube and you're calling it social media, and that's not what YouTube is meant to be used for, especially when you're talking about clinical trials recruitment. So basically, the video is talking about if you have schizophrenia and you have negative symptoms of schizophrenia. We have a study that is enrolling people right now. So go to clinicaltrials.gov and enter this code, and you'll see what the study is all about, and you can talk to your doctor about it. And there's several things wrong with this. Number one, they're targeting people with schizophrenia who supposedly have low negative symptoms, and these type of people would have a hard time talking to their doctor about what they saw on YouTube. The second issue I find with this is that the people in charge of, the people who created this video made no attempt at even explaining what a clinical trial is, and maybe they're restrained by trying to make a short video. I mean, it was 3 minutes, or 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So that's good. At least they kept it short, or somewhat short, although it is longer than what a TV ad would be. But this is not social media. This is basically putting a traditional ad online and calling it social media just because it's on YouTube. Now, how many people do you think will actually watch that video past the 30-second mark and then figure out that this is just a recruitment tactic? Basically, I'm watching an infomercial, and I'm going to click off and watch something else that I'm interested in. That's what these guys are doing, and they don't realize that in order to get people, first of all, in order to increase your enrollment numbers in trials, you've got to engage with people. You've got to be honest. You've got to be authentic, and you've got to come across as wanting to give something rather than just wanting people to enroll for your study. And what I got from this video was just people wanting to boost their enrollment numbers, and it's not going to work. I'm sorry to say. Especially on the internet, people have the freedom to choose what they want to watch. So I doubt if anyone got past the 30-second mark. I watched the video 3 times, and I was bored each time I watched it, but I had to watch it so I can comment on it. And what Don and I are doing here is we have no intention of boosting enrollment at our sites. We just want to educate people about what clinical trials are. We want to get people more aware about what clinical trials are and that clinical trials are an option. But we're not sitting here trying to recruit people into studies. Now, what we have noticed was a lot of increased traffic to our website, southcoastclinicaltrials.com, because of this blog. I've noticed I've gotten a lot of phone calls from people interested in studies from all across the country. And I've only been running this blog since February. So that's just me being authentic, telling people what I know about clinical trials, what they should know about it, why clinical trials are important, why they're not for everyone, but why they may be right for some people. And Don's been doing the same thing. And because we're being authentic and honest, and we don't come across as trying to sell you anything because really we're not. People call us. And this is something that the drug companies can learn from. They're going to have to invest in this stuff. They can't just put on an ad because one of their studies is having slow enrollment and expect people to ask their doctors to look up study number NCT300457 on clinicaltrials.gov because somebody on YouTube told me to do that. Nobody's going to do it. And even if they do that, most doctors do not know much about clinical trials and are going to encourage their patients not to join because they don't want more work, more liability. They don't want someone else getting involved in the healthcare of their patient. So if you really want to boost enrollments at your site, you've got to make an investment of your time. It would have been much better if one or two of those people featured on that video would actually explain what a clinical trial was, would actually explain what schizophrenia is, what negative symptoms are, which they did do that. They did explain what negative symptoms are, and they kind of introduced schizophrenia. But basically, the bottom line was, ask your doctor if you can participate in the study, and here's the information where you can learn more about this study. There was nothing about clinical trials process in general. There was nothing about how this study may not be appropriate for everyone. And there was definitely nothing engaging about that video whatsoever. And I don't think that's going to be a successful recruitment strategy for anyone. I think it's recruitment and not education. And what we need now is a little bit more education and a little more transparency about what clinical trials are. And I've looked on the subscribers' other videos, and they have similar videos, recruitment videos, for other therapeutic indications, but nothing explaining what a clinical trial is. Nothing at all. Nothing telling you what the risks or benefits of joining a trial is. Nothing about what an IRB is, what an informed consent is. Basically, they put all that hard stuff, they gave all that responsibility of explaining all of that stuff to your doctor. And your doctor, chances are, doesn't know too much about clinical trials. So he's not going to know what to tell you, and he's going to say, forget about clinical trials. Just keep coming to me, and we'll take care of your condition that way. So these companies have got to do a better job at truly engaging with their target audience and interacting with them, and not just broadcasting a message and expecting thousands or hundreds of people to click on their study number on clinicaltrials.gov and start calling. It's not going to help recruitment whatsoever. You need to get people more engaged. You need to start educating people, giving them something rather than always wanting something back from them. www.theclinicaltrialsguru.com